There's a consensus amongst philosophers. Ha! Caught you looking. No, there isn't. There is no consensus amongst philosophers about anything, not even on the definition of philosophy. Ask 100,000 philosophers for their definition of philosophy and you will get 100,000 different answers. Ask any one philosopher for their definition of philosophy and beware, if you dare. Make sure you have a fresh coffee and a comfortable chair. Or in my case, maybe a dance floor. That's right, you can dance to my take on philosophy. You can move to it. You can groove to it. 'Cause I distilled it and killed it. I mined it, refined it. I rhymed it and primed it. You'll find it insane. I've made it very plain. A simple refrain you can sustain in your brain and still make your train. Or better yet, remain to experience the finer grain. All right, here we go. There are only two questions in all philosophy, and they are what is and what ought to be. That's right, every philosophical question over the centuries has been a version of what is or what ought to be. You'll see. What is justice? Asked Socrates. He was asking both what is and what ought to be in a single question. That's a clue for later, but for right now, if you could definitively say what is and what ought to be, you'd be the grand champion of philosophy. Now check this out. Philosophy and religion and science, those three, are all three about what is and what ought to be. Those three were all one thing before they split, you see, born of our need to know what is and what ought to be. You see, originally, religionally, if you wanted to know what is and what ought to be, the elders would tell you. Their rules would compel you. Get caught working it out for yourself, bad things befell you. See, we homos are social beings. That's how we operate. We work to one goal as a team. We cooperate. We literally die on our own and thrive with our mates. That's actually what makes us such great apes. We care for one another, and we do this most comfortably when we agree on what is and what ought to be. So religion is a pact where we all agree to agree about what is and what ought to be. It sets the answers in stone, so no one ever needs to get thrown. When it's time to act, we follow the pact. The most righteous move is easily known. But here's the thing, we're always learning new things. Our minds are constantly blown. This makes us question all we've been told and come up with some thoughts of our own. But such thoughts are suppressed because the ancients knew best. Their wisdom passed the test, and you just guessed. But you did more than that. You reasoned it out. You updated your priors, that's what I'm talking about. And so philosophy was born, a new way to be. Agnostic about what is and what ought to be. Questioning all you've been told, even all that you see. Daring to be bold and setting your mind free. But at what cost you might now find you disagree with your very own mother about what is and what ought to be. Oh no! Can we have it both ways? Can our minds act free, and you and me and she still somehow agree about what is and what ought to be? Well, yes, says me, and I hope you'll all agree. But for that to happen, I think we'll all need to be just a little bit better at this thing called philosophy.